Well, hello there, humans, bees, earthlings, whoever you are, wherever you are, whatever you're doing, and if you're lucky enough indeed to be doing it too. I'm Bushka, and this is Pubg Mobile. And today, we're here to talk about the SKS, one of the most notorious weapons. It's a great gun when it works, and when it doesn't work, it's just an absolute punish. And the reason I'm particularly doing this video on the SKS is because patch 0.70 beta is coming up, and there's going to be some big changes to the landscape with regard to DMRs in general, designated marksman rifles, and the way they work, and maybe a little bit of a stealth nerf to the way ARs work. ARs will no longer be able to use 8x scopes, which was a big issue in the past, and that's going to really change the way they work. DMRs are also going to be able to use the attachments that you can use with ARs at the moment, and that means that taking the SKS in particular is going to be a more attractive proposition. Now, there's a reason for that. You might be running with a Kar 98 and you wouldn't pick the SKS up like I am picking it up here because you'd be worried about losing that one-shot potential, and you'd be trading in for a gun that in its embryonic stages here, without a foregrip, without a buttstock, without an extended magazine, without a compensator on the end, it's not going to perform at maximum. And the SKS is an interesting gun because it actually scales really well the more gear you put on it. When you get an SKS that has your extended mag, that has a compensator on the front, that has your vertical foregrip, has all those kind of things going on, well then suddenly it's a rifle that's a lot more easy to control because it does have a very, very high kick. It can be quite the punish when you're trying to use the SKS to snipe with and use multiple shots at once. But once you get that reduction to the vertical recoil, you can really work it. And that next patch, that's going to really change, because the next patch, you're going to be able to take all the things you find on the ARs and shove them on the SKS. So that's going to mean that the SKS is far more viable in the early game when people pick things up and they're looking at ways to utilize and get a sniper rifle, as well as having a rifle like a M416 that they can run around and do everything with. So it allows the SKS to be far more accessible for the player base, and it also allows it to take an 8x scope, which an AR won't be able to take. So it gives it an edge, and it makes it a more attractive proposition. Now, you can see here, I'm going to give you an example of that. You can see the new half grip. I'm putting that's an AR compensator, that's an AR extended mag, that's the new half grip, and look at it. It now gives you the kind of performance you get from a maxed out SKS, because it is a maxed out SKS, but it lets you get that performance much, much earlier in the game and with a lot of ease. So you don't have to start saving up your vertical foregrips and the cheeks and all these kind of things as you're going through the game, and your sniper compensator, which is a lot of stuff to carry around in the backpack. Instead of doing that, just in case you get an SKS or you get a hold of the rifle that you're after, you can just run it. And as you move along, you'll be able to find equipment for it, and you'll be able to find it really, really easily. And that solves the problem of the scaling of the SKS, because as we know, the SKS, when it's fully kitted out, is a very, very good rifle to have. And it's a very, very good weapon for situations like this, where you have a target that knows there is a sniper around, is not stopping moving. You can see down the hill there, they've just started to engage, and I've been waiting for this bloke to come out. He comes out, and he doesn't stop moving until now, and then 1, 2, 3, bang, 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 really, really quick. It's when the target sits still and you get to fill it full of holes that the SKS really works. And when that's not the case, when the target is moving around, the SKS is probably your best option anyway, because people at higher tiers tend to zig and zag a lot more than they do. You can hit bots, but hitting people who are actual players can be quite difficult. It still has a lovely ability to headshot targets. It's not as good as the Kar 98, sure, but you get a lot of pros to outweigh those cons. The Kar 98 is brilliant as the ambush weapon. So you see a target rolling along, and unless it's wearing a level 3 helmet, if you wait for the right shot, you take that right shot, bang, you get him through the head, it's a kill. Unfortunately, if you miss that shot and you only get a body shot, they heal up really, really quick, and you don't have time because of the slow bolt action reload to get another shot in. Even at long range, you can see as targets move around, with 20 in the clip of a fully maxed out SKS, you get a lot more opportunity to get shots off. And even targets that are moving around quite energetically and aggressively, you can hit them. Now let's talk about the numbers just a little wee bit, because the numbers are obviously very, very important. The damage numbers on the SKS are not as good as your Kar 98, but they are better than the Mini 14, and they are right around the same as the Mark 14, which is the crate drop DMR. And I don't have all the raw numbers on the SLR yet. I don't know if we'll ever get all the raw numbers. The guys at Pubg Mobile have not released raw numbers for this game, but we do have those numbers for the PC variant, so I'm going to run with that spreadsheet. Now, the key with the SKS is it doesn't one single shot headshot any targets with a level 1, 2, or 3 helmet. What it does do though, is give you the opportunity to tap a headshot or a headshot and a couple of shots to body armor, and the target goes down. And it allows you to have a lot more of a degree of variance. It allows you to not hit perfect shots and then get another bite of the cherry almost immediately, which is where the joy is. So your numbers, very, very straightforward. 137 base damage on a headshot and 55 base damage on a body shot. With a level 1 helmet, you're going to take 96.25. So if they've had any kind of damage at all, they're going to go down with a level 1 helmet, as you can see in some of the shots I take here. 82.5 in a level 2 helmet is how much damage you do, and 61.8 in a level 3 helmet. So if you can hit a level 3 helmet with a headshot, followed by a quick body shot, you're pretty much all the way there. If they're full health, it's going to take you 2 body shots as well as a single headshot with a level 3 vest, level 3 helmet. So maximum of 3 shots as long as one's a headshot. So if you can hit that first shot, you can tap pretty quick after, you're going to get the target down. I mean, you can get hit limb shots and things like that, but assuming you don't start hitting arms. And you can see there, it's lovely at early game. Like a lot of these DMRs give you that. And watch this, it's a level 1 brain bucket. The guy's been tagged somewhere, obviously. The damage reduction isn't maxed out. Boom, gone. It's a beast of a weapon when it's fully constructed. And you can see that's a real player. There's a bot on the right. I quite often do this where there'll be a bot and a real player will get screwed by a bot. You saw that guy there was running away from the bot. The bot outed him. And yeah, unlucky for him. And this is what I'm talking about. I missed those 2 shots, but look at how many shots I get to fire with this SKS. I missed those 2 shots, and when the target started slowing down to engage another person, I hit them a couple of times very, very quick. This guy, this is the poor bugger. There's a bot shooting at this guy. He's running away. He's trying to run away. I'm like, okay, I'll kill the guy first who's actually a player, and then I'll take the bot out. And you can see the SKS, it just has such a high tolerance for getting your range. Like, you can really zone it in on the range. I really like this gun. It took me a long while to come to terms with it. With the new patch, with the ability to use an 8 times, with the wider availability of scopes and attachments and compensators and suppressors, the SKS is going to feature really, really heavily, both in my gameplay and in the gameplay of most players. Look at this, the guy's in a ghillie suit, in final circle, SKS, pumping him up, red hot and ready. This is the last shot I'm going to leave you with. This is a great shot to win a game with the SKS. Have a look at this bloke in Pachinki. 12 kills, just looking for that little bit of love. He's taken a bloke out somewhere up there at the top. In a sec, you'll see the gunfire. All right, pops on the minimap up there. But it's Pachinki. He's probably in a building. It's going to be a very hard shot. Let's zone that in. Fully kitted SKS. Headshot. Headshot. Yeah, thank you, mother, for the rabbits. I hope you enjoyed that, guys. As always, subscribe to the channel, like the videos, please. It helps me a lot. And if you want to become a patron and join the Discord for the count-ins and all that kind of stuff, jump on in patreon.com/TheBushka.